that was 4-0. Full crew pulled one back, but the game was over and City had the 3 points. So they begin 2025 in very much positive vein. It is now 3 games unbeaten, 2 victories back-to-back and a draw against Everton. The final score here at the Etihad Stadium. 2025 starts with a bang. City 4, West Ham 1. Now let's go back to the studio where we can join Liam, who has with him Jill Scott, Joleon Lescott and Marlon Harewood.
Welcome back. Final score, City 4, West Ham 1. Now that second half was some performance. You were just mentioning there, so we're going to start Savinho.
Yeah,
Jill.
he was so good. He was just kind of a danger all day. I think if he's in a one-on-one situation, you know, he's going to get the better of his man, and then obviously he got the goal as well, which was a deflection, but sometimes you just have to hit them, don't you? So, yeah, I thought he was very good and it deserved. Well, I'm guessing he got player of the match, did he?
I sure hope so. We were speaking about stats and you can play well without getting the numbers, but he got them this time. 2 assists, Joleon. I mean, the goal went down as an own goal, but still, confidence-wise, that's doing wonders, right?
Yeah, definitely. He was outstanding throughout the game. Probably the most consistent performer out there, and yeah, he deserved player of the match and his goal contribution. So, yeah, he'll be full of confidence now, and hopefully he can just continue that momentum. And like I said, he's played well throughout the season, but now he's been rewarded with goal contributions.
We were speaking as well that Haaland was getting the goals, where the other goals coming from, but we're seeing now Foden back scoring as well, Jill. Like,
yeah,
Foden back in form.
And that was so unselfish of De Bruyne. I think actually I had commentators curse because I was saying West Ham are keeping the ball quite well, and then they just give away this really sloppy pass. But De Bruyne obviously runs through, and he could have took it himself really, but it was a nice little pass to Foden, and then obviously you knew he was going to score. But yeah, I think players like that getting goals, that gives Foden a couple of goals for the season, and hopefully they can push on now and just kind of surround Haaland with a few more goals.
Marlon, disappointed? First half.
Very, very disappointed. So obviously listening to the guys, it's nice at the same time how they analyse the game and stuff, but it's obviously disappointed of West Ham. Echoing what I said about the first half, if they had put them chances away, it would have been a different game. But obviously coming out at half time, 2-0, it's always a hill that they have to climb to try and get it back. But obviously City done well to maintain the game. We got 1 goal back, but obviously they went on and scored another 2.
Any positives for you for West Ham?
Yeah, I think that the first 25 minutes were coming out and on the front foot and going at City was nice to see, seeing that they wanna try and go out there and win the game. But obviously the luck went with them with their first goal, with Coufal scoring home goal. So it was difficult after that really, because then the way they've been playing, it's just been hard to get to this stage. And obviously now they come here wanted to put up a performance against Man City. It didn't work out that way, so obviously back to the drawing board and wait for the next game.
400 games in the City shirt for De Bruyne. What did you make of his performance today?
Relatively quiet, but not due to his standard. I think it was due to Savinho mainly taking the limelight, but again contributed with an assist. So yeah, you can't ever knock him for his ability to create chances. But again, it was just a needed result more than a needed performance. Nice for him to captain the team on this monumental landmark for him. But again, it was important that they just won the game.
Yeah.
I feel silly to say this, but 2 wins on a trot. On the trot, will that be building confidence back now? Is that where we want to be pressing on, Jill?
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, it's all about results now, isn't it? I think 2 results now, and then it goes into Salford, into the cup game, and I think, is it about 10 days till the next league game? So that just kind of gives the players that have maybe rushed back to get back onto the pitch just an extra bit of recovery time, because I'm guessing he's going to switch the team up for the cup game. So yeah, it's a good position to be in, and you can't focus too much on the past. You can't do anything about them results, and now it's just looking ahead, trying to get some points on the board, and obviously progressing in the cup as well.
I feel like Pep Guardiola's City teams are always unbelievable from the new year onwards. Was it a case of just sort of weathering that storm, get to the new year, and then it's business as usual? The boys know what they're doing now, Joleon.
You hope so. Again, I think people don't give them the credit they should in regards to their start to seasons. I think it's easy to recognise the back end of the season because it's the most recent, but their start to the season form and results has to be a certain level for them to end up with the trophies. So in regards to the Champions League, I think like before this season they was unbeaten. They went unbeaten at home for a number of years. They was winning consistently. So yeah, you can look at the end of the season form and say, well, it's immaculate. But there's always been a level of consistency throughout the season because you don't win the league if you don't have that. But hopefully now we're used to seeing this momentum build, and like Jill said, going into the Salford game, and then all of a sudden there's another league game with 3 wins potentially in a row, 4 unbeaten, and then that just builds confidence.
Yeah.
Marlon, I want to talk about West Ham, maybe a shining light, Somerville. We were talking about him off camera. Impressive his performance today, weren't you?
Yeah, very impressed. Obviously not been playing that regularly, but to come into a game at City just shows how well he's come on from when West Ham bought him at the beginning of the season, and he wants to play, and he looks like a threat every time he was going forward. So hopefully now West Ham can use him in a couple more games. Obviously, Bowen being injured, he's got a chance to go and play a couple of games.
Did that feel more trademark City? You come here, you don't play terribly, and you're on the end of a 4-1 result.
Yeah, well, it's hard, isn't it? Obviously, we had these conversations that are coming to City, but it was a good time to play Man City because they're obviously not playing that as well as they usually are. So it was an opportunity to try and come here and put a performance in and come away with something. But they grind out the result today. They didn't play the best, but it's just what obviously Joleon's saying about the performances that they have to put out, and these are the performances that they put out to go on that run that we was just talking about as a City team that you've known of. But yeah, it was an opportunity for West Ham to come and try and do something, but obviously didn't go that way.
OK, we are going to head pitchside to Ali Man and Andy Morrison. Over to you guys.
Yeah, welcome back to the commentary position. City 4, West Ham 1. To my left, the man who predicted that very scoreline. Why did you feel that it was going to be a comfortable win today?
I didn't think it was going to pan out the way the game went, Ali. But I just felt on the back of the clean sheet last week, positivity around that. And I know how football is infectious. And, you know, I just felt really confident today. But I didn't think it would go the way it did because they were very good in periods, West Ham.
What particularly pleased you about today's performance?
Well, I just think Phil Foden now, that's 2 and 3, and 3 for Haaland in 2 games. But Savinho was the really pleasing one because I'm a massive fan of his, and I spoke about him as the season's gone on, and people have been waiting for him to explode. But I thought today there were moments, I've seen moments this season, but I thought today we actually saw the end product. You know, his balance, his ability to take players on and one-on-one. He tortured Coufal in the first half, and then they doubled up the second half. And then obviously end product with assists as well.
Are we starting to see momentum being built?
It's still early. You know, it's a point, Everton, and then back-to-back victories. So it's a great start. Probably the pleasing thing today is what we spoke about, Ali, that bench. And we're starting to see players come back. And that just keeps players on their toes also, but also allows the manager to strengthen within games. And, you know, we've been waiting a long time for that.
Just one final thought. There were still 1 or 2 things to worry City fans as well, though, wasn't there?
Yeah, but I think that will, you know, I think you can just still see there's a bit of apprehension, a bit of nervousness around play because they've had a difficult run. These players aren't used to that, but it'll grow and grow and grow, and it's building really nicely, you know. And with the transfer window now, who knows, there might be a couple of additions. Be nice to see one player come in just to freshen things up, but really, really positive start to 2025.
Fantastic. So, Andy Morrison, I think the only man to predict the correct scoreline, and he's pleased about it too. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, chaps. Right, next Saturday, FG is joined by Peter Reid and Paul Dickov in the FA Cup game against Salford, right here. Guys, Joleon, I'm going to start with you. What are you expecting from the FA Cup game?
I don't expect many changes because, again, if you want to build momentum, you're not going to change too much. You want to build on this. I don't think it'll be the starting 11 for the same 3 games in a row, but I think it'll be relatively strong. Normally, you probably see younger players bedding in, especially against that position against respect to Salford League One. But I think it'll be pretty strong. Probably Haaland, maybe, probably one of the mainstays. Yeah, that won't be risked because he's the only cover for that position. Yeah, I think everywhere else we have competition and cover of equal quality where there's only one striker, isn't there? So I'd like to see him rested.
Jill, do you think we'll see the likes of James McAtee in that fixture?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously De Bruyne, I'd like to see him get rested and protected, especially if he is carrying a little bit of an injury. But maybe it might be a case of get job done by half-time and then make them changes. But yeah, I think some players do need to be protected, especially in this period and especially with the injuries that have gone before. But without sounding disrespectful, I think whatever team goes out there, I do think that will get the win.
It's a strange one because we were talking about Rhythm earlier on, and now it's like, okay, we want to keep a couple, but you do want to rest up them players. It's a hard balance.
Yeah, it's obviously, and Pep's been great at it throughout his tenure here. So, again, whatever team he picks, he'll believe that will be able to compete and win the game. So,
Do you think it'll be harder now, though, because of what's been going on for the last couple of games?
harder to make the selection?
Yeah.
Possibly. Again, he
Because
might have a
of
different
momentum.
motive behind the
Yeah.
selection process. Like you said, when everyone's playing well and you're winning and you're getting results, it doesn't matter. You just kind of, it's fluid.
Before it didn't matter,
Yeah,
but
but
obviously
now
now-
you're probably thinking, well, can I afford to risk that and break his momentum? Like Savinho, do you want to take him out of a team and give him the opportunity to get 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Because the level of confidence
rest.
that has, rather than him not playing and all of a sudden having a week off and thinking, no, especially when he's young as well, you know what I mean? So again, there's probably the same decisions need to be made, but for different reasons.
Marlon, do you think that's the same case for City? Like, win against Salford makes it 3 wins on the bounce. In terms of confidence, is that something you want to keep going? Doesn't matter about the
Oh yeah,
opposition,
they're
that's the change
definitely going to take it accountable of that game where they want to win it and they want to keep the momentum, because obviously the conversation we're having now about City not winning games is a bit of a weird situation, really. It makes it like they're human, but obviously Joleon saying about the best way of handling it with a manager, playing the right players for the game. I'm sure he's going to have that thought process, but at the same time, you want to keep that momentum going, keep the wins going, and keep them back on that winning way.
Another one for you. West Ham have got Aston Villa in the FA Cup.
They have.
Two of your old
Two of
teams.
those, yeah. I'm going to that game as well, doing that game, so it'll be interesting.
What's it like when 2 of your old teams play
Sitting on
against
the
each
fence.
other? Half and half, scarf on.
I'll be more. Yeah. So true. I'll be West Ham through and through on that one, because I do a lot for the club, and the club's fantastic. I can't speak highly enough of them when I do stuff like this. So I'll be backing them 100%.
FA Cup, Man City, another chance of silverware. Should we go for it?
100%. I don't think he wasn't never going to go for it, regardless of the situation. But it just, with the likes of the Premier League being slightly unrealistic now, I think there's a real opportunity to win this. And as I said, this is probably the one competition we haven't been as consistent in regards to winning it as regular as others. So, yeah, it's kind of a bit weird to say that we won the Premier League more than we've won the FA Cup under Pep. So
it's crazy,
it's a crazy stat. So I'm sure they'll go all out to win it. But again, in respect to the opposition, there's an opportunity to be a sensible lineup, and then when you come up against a more stronger team, then yeah, you probably pick a stronger lineup.
There's a lot of youngsters around the first team. It would be great to see some of them getting minutes, playing the FA Cup.
But it's more. I bet it would be
factor.
great to see that. But I bet it's greater for them if they get to the final and win it
Very true.
rather than that.
Yeah.
So as much as you want to get minutes as a young player, you got to understand I'd rather want the trophy, and if the best opportunity for that is Kevin and Erling in the team, then I'd give me that.
There's injuries coming back as well,
Yeah.
so they will want to get a game and get some 90 minutes under the belt, wouldn't they?
I do think the fans have stayed really loyal as well through this tough period, and I think it would be great to give them an FA Cup final, and the players as well. So I think it would be fantastic for them to go on a cup run, especially for the fans as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think normally when teams go through these bad runs, the best place to play is away. I don't think that's been the case for Man City. I think the best place for them has been here, because the fans have, like Jill said, have been so behind the team and backed them and not got frustrated. They've understood that this was going to happen, probably not to the extent and the duration, but we've won 4 in a row, titles, so losing 4 games in a row is okay. You know what I mean? So again, it's probably the best place they could play these games.
With this result being 4-1, did we sort of start to see a hint of, right, we'll bring players off to protect him a little bit more than what we've had in previous games where it's a lot closer, or we're drawing, losing? Is it like, are you in like a unique position to be like, okay, we've probably got this sewn up now, we can start to protect the players and have one eye on another fixture, do you think, Jill?
I don't know. I don't think it was sewn up, really. Do you?
But 4-0, yeah, I think that's 4-0. I think they're safe. 20 minutes left and 4-0.
Well, we're seeing a lot of the guys warming up, didn't we? So you had McAtee, Grealish, Doku, Gundogan. So it's nice when you're in that position to do that. But I think I was thinking, get De Bruyne off and give him a bit of a rest. But
I think Pep,
I'm going to have to interrupt. We are going to go live to Kevin De Bruyne. We've got him coming up.
Okay, Kevin, it was an important win and a good performance today.
Yeah, I think it was better than the game at Leicester. I think we had some good moments, some moments a bit less. I think in the end we lost a bit of rhythm, energy. But to win, the first game of 25 is good, and I feel some players are getting back physically. So with the program, hopefully it gets better.
Is it just a case of just step by step each game, just building to where we were before?
Yeah, we're trying. Obviously, it's been a difficult season for many reasons, but I think we're getting a bit better, and like I said, I can look at myself to be physically better, and I start to feel a bit better. So that's the only thing I can do.
And you seem to take up a lot of wider positions today. Is that a tactical thing that we worked on during the week?
It depends, game from game. It depends of certain situation, but also it depends on what the opponent gives you from freedom. If they give you the wide areas, you have to take that advantage. And a lot of teams start to cover the middle. So the wide areas are where the spaces are. So we try and take that.
And Pep made a beeline for you at half time to say just how well you were playing. That's what it looked like from the side. Is that what it was?
No, not really. I think there were moments we could have done better, but like I said, we did better than at Leicester. We scored some more goals, so it's good going forward.
And your 400th game, it must seem like yesterday since you made your debut for City. Do you remember your debut?
Well, I remember, but it doesn't seem like yesterday. I feel a bit older, to be honest.
Did you ever think you'd play 400 games for one club in your career?
No, not really. I think that amount, to play at this team, at this level, just shows like I've been able to perform with the team, and it's been really, really good. There's nothing else to say. I've been here almost 10 years, so it's home. Everybody knows that, and hopefully we can do better things also this year.
And just a quick word on Savinho. You've seen a lot of great players come through the door at City. He's only 20, but he looks a real talent, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he had a lot of moments where he did really well. I think he started the season really well, and then obviously with us doing a little bit less, it was hard, I think, on him, for a young player. But lately it seems like he found a little of confidence again, and obviously scoring last week can help, and today had a really good performance, so happy for him.
Great, and that's a clear week now until the FA Cup next week.
Yeah, so that's good. I think especially for the players who were injured to get back, a bit safely, but also the players who played a lot, have a bit of rest. So hopefully these next few weeks helps us, get some players back and some rhythm. So it will be good.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. 400 games for City, quite the achievement.
401 or 400 today.
400 today, but he's just. I thought it then. We were talking about. He's just so calm. Like he just feels unflappable. And the way he plays as well. It's just.
Yeah.
It's a delight. I must say, it's a delight. I spoke to him on the podcast, and he said about how his role has changed from when he signed to where he is now. To grow up in a team, what do you think what's that like as a player?
You're talking about a calibre of player that's world class, and just the things he's been. We talked about throughout his career, and reaching 400 games speaks for itself, really, and the calibre that he's been playing, his distribution, what he's been doing, and every year seems to getting better and better, avoiding the injuries. But obviously, as a West Ham side, and looking at a player like that, you can't not praise him and speak highly of him, really. So it's crazy.
Jill, your role would have changed at City from when you joined to when you left. Like,
Yeah.
what's the journey?
I think obviously when you're at a club for a long period of time, I think I was at City for about 8 years, you step into it and there's players a lot older than you and you're looking up to them and looking about how they conduct themselves, whether it's on the pitch, around the gym, stuff like that. And then suddenly you become that player that everybody's looking to. So I suppose his role's probably changed in that sense. But I don't think it's changed too much on the pitch because even though he was younger, he's always been the standout player. So maybe he's had to adapt his game a little bit in terms of energy and stuff like that, but I think his desire and his will has never changed, and I think that's why we all love him so much, because you forget that he has got 10 years older whilst he's been in this team, because he's still performing like one of the younger players, really.
It's not so much a change, and I guess it's more like an evolution. You grow and change, or I say it again, but evolve into a new player, a new character almost, Joleon.
Yeah, a new leader. Again, and you recognise what the team needs, what the game needs, and like Jill said, when he first come, he's probably a lot more dynamic, probably travelling with the ball a lot more, impacting the game in the same way, but in a different style. Where now he's obviously and it has the respect and responsibility to kind of operate in smaller areas, but again use his technique a lot more and still has the same impact. And that comes with time, your age, but also your level of consistency and dominance against opposition. They respect you totally different and have to accommodate you a lot more when you have the capabilities that he has.
Amazing. Right. If you were watching on Boxing Day, you would have seen we were running a few competitions for you guys to enter. And now I can reveal the winners. Okay, first up we have the presenter drawing Paul's picture 1, drawing of Steve Howney. It's pretty good. That's Paul. That's his of Paul. That's a pint and a glass of wine. Would you like that?
I've got the wine glass.
Lovely thick mane of blue hair. And that's the winner for that one. And next up we have. Here we go. This is Lenny, and he Foden. I'm liking the shape up. And I'm liking the cut in the eyebrow. And he wins a signed shirt, which is not bad, that, is it? Very nice stuff. Now, this is the big one. This is a big prize for a big competition. This was the commentary of 93-20. So, Joleon, I'm going to need to see what you make of this, my man.
Oh, wow.
Right, let's have a look. It was a young boy called Dylan. So we're going to get up on screen right now. And let us know what you think.
Balotelli, Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. So watch it. Drink it in.
He was confident.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He's got the lines right.
Is he? 9.
He's very young, very young. And he has won 2 tickets to home games this season, which is
fair play, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, very
I mean, I might get it. That's a good little bit of commentary. You might see him, get him up in the booth, you know.
Develop him, yeah.
But guys, I want to first. I was about to thank the cricket situation. Forget it. Yeah. No, guys, I want to say a massive thank you for today.
Thank you.
And everyone at home, thank you so much for watching. And also, we want to say thank you to Yasmin, whose final day is with us today for the MatchDay live team. She has been absolutely amazing, and she's heading off. So, everyone at home, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Kevin, can you give us one as well, please? I think I want to reach the highest level possible, maybe have some titles.
He's been the best player in the Premier League since he came back from Germany and signed for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne is going to go down as an all-time great.
Play with such an amazing player for me is perfect, and I really enjoy playing with him. He's something different, the way he passes the ball and the way what he sees. It's funny, it's difficult to explain because he is a special player and he sees things, as I say, what others don't see. I don't even need to see the ball because I know exactly where the ball's going to come.
When I came into City, I hoped to stay here for a long time, but I never expected me to be here for 10 years.
Obviously, you came here to win things. Could you ever have dreamt that you would have won everything?
No, you hope for it, but I don't know how you can hope like the last 7 years win 6 titles.
What a player. Runs, fight, assist, score goals. He's Mr. Kevin De Bruyne. So, what can I say? So 8 years, have done everything for this club. He's absolutely a legend. Will be remembered forever, one of the greatest players of all time of this club.
7 years, the fighting with it. If KDB is on that pitch, he can take that game away from the team in under 5 minutes. He's the only guy that can make one pass that takes an entire defence out.
Kevin is a joke. He's a joke. The one ball that summed it up for me was the one that he played against Stoke, where he beat him, I think, like 7-2, and it was for Leroy.
Just try and create as much as possible and just get my I would say, my teammates in a position that they can excel in. But I always say that assist is just the way that I am. I like scoring goals, but I would say just try to create as much as possible. And you know, it's been part of my game more than I would say scoring goals, but I like to chip in if possible.
Kevin De Bruyne! De Bruyne's diving header, and City have scored.
Towards with Kevin De Bruyne, who sets up a shot and scores. 2-0 to City.
De Bruyne. Oh, belter! Absolute belter from Kevin De Bruyne. There is no stopping that.
It's my home. We've been really happy here, and yeah, to be honest, a lot of great memories, a lot of trophy winnings, you know, big games. So I'm proud.